Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I have a really exciting video for you all because three of my favorite people here on YouTube along with myself are joining together to do a collaboration of sorts while preparing for the holiday season. We wanted to go ahead and get these videos out to you before the big shopping weekend here in the US, so let's go ahead and get started. In this video, I'm going to be giving you a top 10 list of my personal favorite watercolor gift sets broken down into 4 spending categories. After you go ahead and watch this video, you can head on over to all the other lovely ladies' channels, including Eve's channel for her favorite watercolor gifts, Sade's channel for her European edition of great watercolor gifts, and also over to Karia's for all things coloring related, including watercolor pencils. I will go ahead and link all of their channels in the description below, and I'll remind you again at the end of the video so that you don't forget to go ahead and check out their great videos too. It is also probably worth mentioning as well that this collaboration of lists is in no way sponsored by any of the companies that we're going to be mentioning. We all just wanted to get together to share some of our favorite gift ideas with all of our viewers. I think we each approached our lists in different ways, but for my list, I can personally say that I really wanted to represent each of my favorite brands of watercolor while also providing really cute little boxes or gift sets that would make really nice gifts for this holiday season. I should also mention really quickly that each of the prices in this video are of course based on the pricing at the time that I am recording this because I cannot see into the future, and most of it is based on Amazon pricing, although there are a couple exceptions to that I will let you know when we get there. Our first category today is the frugal or economically friendly portion of the list, and those are all gifts that are under $25. Alrighty, so first on my list are the Kuretake Gansei Tambi watercolor sets. These aren't artist grade paints and they're not necessarily light fast either, but they are very vibrant and fun to paint with. The kicker for them in making my top holiday gift list is that they come in these really beautiful green linen-like boxes with gold embossing, and they are probably one of the prettiest things that we'll see on the list today. Kuretake offers several different set sizes, but for this list I'm going to go ahead and focus primarily on the 18 or 24 color sets, which fit nicely into this range at $16 and $23 respectively. Both of these sets are able to offer a wide range of colors while still being affordable, and the pans in any of their sets are large and flat to accommodate nearly any sized brush. The colors re-wet very easily, and they're ideal for traditional Japanese watercolor techniques, crafters, card makers, and new and hobbyist watercolors alike. Next up on our under 25 category, we're going to go ahead and move into the artist quality line of colors here pretty quickly with the Core introductory sets. Core makes a couple of different sets. My favorite of their introductory kits is their High Chroma set, which is currently on Amazon for just over $21. This particular set contains 6 5-milliliter tubes, and they come in a modern looking tin whose lid also serves as a palette with these little bubble-like indentations on them. This particular set contains quinacridone gold, transparent pyrrole orange, quinacridone magenta, dioxazine purple, cobalt teal, and green gold. These high chroma colors are extraordinarily vibrant, beautiful colors that jump right out of their pans and onto your paper. They would make a lovely addition to both new and seasoned watercolor palettes alike, and I think it's particularly noteworthy that this set comes with an expensive cobalt teal color at an affordable price point, which is a great way to try out that particular type of pigment. I personally have been using these colors a lot lately, and I am having so much fun working with them, and I hope that I get even more chances to do so in both my commissioned work and my own artwork that I do for conventions. The final gift idea that I have for my under 25 list is actually a pairing of 2 items, and it's the only part of my list that diverges away from the gift box theme of the rest of the list that I have going on. However, I had to include them because they are my all-time favorite palette and my favorite travel brushes as well. Now, my first experience with water brushes was actually not a positive one. I'm kind of surprised I ever gave them a second shot, but now I can't imagine painting without them. Water brushes, if you're not familiar with them, hold water in their barrels so that you don't have to carry additional water around with you while you're traveling, but they're also great for water regulation and having a nice steady flow of water throughout your paintings. They're great for both brush lettering as well as painting, so they can appeal to a wide range of artists and crafters alike, and you can even fill them with inks or diluted watercolors for special effects rather than water. My favorite brands so far are the Pentel Aquashes, which I'm using here, and they come either separately or in a set of 3, which is what I'm recommending here. My favorite and most used size of the 3 is the medium-sized round brush, and honestly, I use these brushes as much at home as I do when I'm out and about. Along with this set of brushes, I also have to include what's not only a great palette in general, but one that is also really great at traveling, which is on theme with giving water brushes as a gift. It has a unique locking mechanism and a seal that helps it to be very portable without risking it spilling all over the place, but that isn't why it's my favorite palette. Now granted, this is the first palette that I ever owned, and for that reason I suppose I can never really know if my opinion is completely or unbiased, or if it's just a case of this is my first love, so I'm overly attached. But I do truly love everything about this palette. The wells are slanted at an angle, and you can fill them in whichever way works best for your painting style, whether that be full or half empty. There are 2 reasonably large size wells in the middle of the palette that serve as main mixing areas, but the inside of the lid is also another huge mixing area that can be further lifted out of the palette, revealing another large mixing area in the space below. Even though I love my huge porcelain palette and all of my cute little travel sets, I like working with this one the best. I literally have 3 of them in my collection, 2 for watercolor, 1 for gouache, and I recommend them to just about anyone for anyone who likes to pour their own pans. Next up, we're going to be moving on to our next price bracket of gifts that fall in the mid-range between $25 and $75. First up in this category is the Vinci Warm and Cool Watercolor Set, which contains 6 15-milliliter tubes of paint for around $40 online. Like Core, Vinci offers a couple of different configurations of their tube sets, although none of them are currently available on Amazon, so you'll have to go to either Vinci's website or another art website to find them. This Warm and Cool set is my particular favorite combination, though, particularly for beginners, because the Warm and Cool primaries will allow you to mix a wide range of colors while learning and practicing color theory. I do want to mention that the colors that I'm showing here in the video portion do not necessarily match the set perfectly. I think the yellows and the blues are the same colors, but I didn't have the same reds that come in the set. In general, Vinci's watercolors are a very solid brand of watercolor paints that, although they are less known, are US made, affordable, and they handle really well in application. If you do get hooked on this brand off of their introductory sets, they also offer mini 37-milliliter tubes at really great prices, making them one of the most affordable artist-grade paints in the United States. Next on the list is my first and deepest love of watercolor paints, though they do make it a bit difficult to buy as gifts. Daniel Smith produces the widest range of watercolors on the market, with a lot of specialty colors that are not found anywhere else. However, they are not big on sets, and they don't produce pans at all, so you're not going to find any tins or box sets of these paints. Enter this glorious deal that I found on Amazon while researching for this video, and that is a listing that combines their 238 color dot chart along with their 5-milliliter essential set and their Primatech watercolor set. Let's go ahead and take this piece by piece. As I mentioned, Daniel Smith offers an immense range of watercolors, all of which that I could never hope to own in a single lifetime, but luckily for us, the company does offer a dot chart of most of their colors. This dot chart allows you to try out each of their colors in person to decide what tubes you want to invest in, and I think it's a great way to get acquainted with a brand, and I wish more companies did that. Secondly, the essential set that is included in this little bundle is much like the Warm and Cool set that we talked about from Vinci, which offers a split primary palette to better become acquainted with this brand in practical applications. And finally, this little set contains the Primatech watercolors, which allow you to try out some of their specialty colors made from genuine earth minerals and gems. The trio is pretty much anything you could ask for as a Daniel Smith virgin in trying out all of their paints. Unlike Vinci's, though, I should warn you that an addiction to this brand is not exactly frugal. Rounding out this section of the list is actually a student grade of paint, but my favorite student grade available that handles nearly every bit as well as Royal Talent's professional line, Rembrandt. I am, of course, referring to Van Gogh watercolors. They are a bit harder to acquire in the US, as in they are not available in every store that you walk into, but they are readily available on Amazon and different art websites that ship to the US. These paints are available both in pans and tubes, and if you've frequented my other videos, you'll know that I vastly prefer Van Gogh over more common options like Common for student-grade paints, as they're just so much more fun and enjoyable to work with. These are a student-grade paint, but for this list, I did want to go ahead and get a bit fancy for my recommendations as gifts, so I am going to be recommending the 24 half-pan set that comes with a lovely wooden box, 2 brushes, and a 10-well palette for mixing. I myself do not own such a lovely box, but I do know that I would be thrilled to receive one, and for that, I wanted to go ahead and include it on my list today. If you're thinking, Denise, that's nice and all, but I'm not going to spend $70 on student-grade paint. I don't care about the extra box. What can you do for me instead? I will then go ahead and recommend that you can pick up the 18 color set in this price range for around $40 that comes in a plastic box and also includes a brush. The best part about this particular set is that it includes 18 actual colors, and they include a tube of white and black that are extra in addition but do not count towards the 18 color set. Alright, we are a little over halfway through with our list, and it is time to move on to the all-out spenders category of gifts of over $75. First up in this category is a relatively modest option for this price range, and that is the M-Gram Intermediate 10 color paint set, which, as you guessed it, contains 10 tubes of the deliciously juicy M-Gram watercolors. This set includes 10 colors: Azo Yellow, Azo Orange, Pyro Red, Permanent Alizarin Crimson, Ultramarine, Phthalo Green, Sap Green, Burnt Sienna, Nickel Quinacridone Gold, and Dioxazine Purple. Was that 10? Hopefully that was 10. It is not a perfect split primary palette, but it offers a wide range of lovely colors that is plenty to get started with. M-Gram is another US-based company in the Pacific Northwest. They are a small business that focuses on eco-conscious manufacturing, and I, for one, value that very highly, and I like to support small businesses when I'm doing my holiday shopping. Their paints contain honey, which make them incredibly easy to reactivate, even from, I'm using air quotes here even though you can't see them, dry pans, which you can see here in the video do not look dry at all despite them being completely set. They are not convenient in all climates, however, as they may not set in more humid environments, so just be aware of that if you live somewhere more tropical. At the very moment of this recording, I have to admit that this is a friggin' steal on Amazon at $71, but I'm including it in the over 75 category because I refuse to believe that this is a long-term pricing situation, as it sells for at least $85 on most other online stores. Following M-Gram, we've got Mission Gold watercolors, and not only do they share the same initials, they also share a similar texture, vibrancy, and they are very easy to re-wet. Mission Gold is a Korean brand of watercolors that sells really affordable sets. However, do be careful when you go to replace individual tubes, as individual tubes can be quite pricey. The translation between Korean and English does leave us with some confusing names for their paints, and their earth tones leave a lot to be desired, but the primary earth colors are absolutely lovely to work with. To avoid strange multi-pigment mixes, I would recommend the Pure Pigment set if you would like to really dive into this brand. I don't own this full set myself, but Catherine, one of our awesome viewers, sent me a complete dot chart to try out this whole range of paints. The set is a little bit heavy on reds, but it makes it ideal for floral painters, and the set contains 24 tubes of artist quality watercolors plus 7 milliliter tubes of both white and black for just over $100. That means they are only $4.25 a tube. If you were to buy them all individually, this set would cost you over $330, so I do have to say that this is probably one of the best values on the entire list today, and it is sure to knock the socks off of your recipient. Finishing off this category, I'm going to go ahead and recommend the Sennelier wood box set of 24 colors. If you couldn't tell already, I really like wood boxes, and Sennelier is quite renowned for their specialty box sets that they come out with over the years for all of their different mediums. You can just ask Karia about that, she can tell you plenty. I don't own this set in particular, but I do have and use Sennelier's 14 color half pan set, and this brand is perfect for artists who like to spend a long time with their paintings glazing with many layers. But each layer adds so much depth that if you spend a little time with them, you'll quickly find out why they are so popular among many artists. Rounding out our list to an even top 10, Karia suggested that we each pick one holy crap, over the top, just absolutely insane gift for those of you who like to and are able to spoil your watercolor sweeties. When we get up over the $250 mark, there are actually very few options, short of saying, as Karia mentioned, I'll just have one of every tube of Daniel Smith, please. So for my list, I decided to choose a brand of paint that has steadily been growing as one of my favorites over the past year since I got my first, much smaller set last year for Christmas. Of course, I'm talking about Schmincke, and in this instance, we're going to be looking at their 48 half pan set that, say it with me, comes in a wooden box. If you haven't tried Schmincke before, well, I'm actually torn on whether or not to tell you to try them because they are so creamy and so beautiful that it is hard to go back to other brands once you use them. Their unique process of pouring their pans uses the same formula that they use in their tubes, but they pour their pans in 4 separate layers over many weeks, letting each layer dry before the next is added, so that you, as the customer, get all the bang for your buck that you can. Usually I am a less is more fan, and I don't actually own any 48 color sets. Oh, that I could afford one, but if we are going all out, this is the one I would pick. In addition to its 48 amazing little poured half pans, it also comes with a porcelain palette and a full pan of oxgall, which is a wetting agent or a dispersant that you can use to get your paints to flow. Someday, my love, perhaps we will be introduced, but until then, I am perfectly happy indulging in the colors that I already own from Schmincke that create beautifully delicate paintings. So that is going to do it for my list today, but before you go, I have one more exciting little announcement, and that is that I am really excited to share with you something that is going to make it really easy for you to find all of the recommendations that I have in this video today. And that is that I have been accepted into the new Amazon Influencer Program, which is an extension of the affiliates program that you probably already know about. A lot of YouTubers have these affiliates links that if you like the supplies that you see in one of our reviews, you can click the link in the description. It takes you to that site. If you make a purchase from that link or anything else that you click on after that, it donates a portion of that sale back to the content creator, and it helps out the channel without costing you anything more. With the new influencer program, I'm actually able to create these cool new shopping lists. A place for you to go as a viewer to see all of my recommendations. You can click on anything in that list, check it out. I also have shopping lists for my everyday favorite watercolor supplies, which used to be that huge long list in my description with all the different links. Now you can find it all in one easy place. And I also have something for my bullet journal followers. I have a separate bullet journal list with all of my favorite bullet journaling supplies as well. Anyway, I hope that these lists that I and Eve and Sade and Karia have all put together for you are helpful while you're doing your holiday shopping. If you are looking for more artwork instead of supplies for your holiday gifts, please go ahead and check out my Etsy shop. There's links in the description below. It's been a little while since I've plugged it. Currently, from the time this video launches to December 1st, all of my prints are going to be 15% off in the shop, so that's an automatic. You don't need a coupon for it. You can just head on over, and everything is marked there really clearly for you so you can see how much everything costs. Also, from November 22nd to November 27th for Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and Cyber Monday, I will also be offering a free shipping code, so be sure to head on over to Instagram for more information on that, and I will see you all in the next video. Happy Thanksgiving and have a wonderful weekend.